Hey everybody, apologize for running late. Unfortunately, right after I posted the link for the stream and everything like that, I managed to um, start a migraine. I apologize for that. On the plus side, I have medicated myself enough that I should be functional, but I am going to be running a little bit slow, and I'm not sure I'm going to run as long as I wanted to. But I did need to get to the point where if I didn't um, uh, start this braid, I wasn't going to get it done in time. I'm just getting the back end stuff going okay. All right, so it looks like we're good on Rumble, and let's see, looks like we are good on YouTube too. Since I'm starting up on the braid for Larry Correia, I was not going to miss my first one, so thank you very much for your patience, everybody. Hey, Gwen, nice to see you. Always good to have you on here. And the mods for the Larry Correia's biggest Facebook fan page have let me post on there. So we might be getting a few people who are Larry Correia fans who have not actually seen my stuff before. If they do pop in, let's give them a warm welcome. Not that anybody here has been anything other than friendly and fabulous in general. But like I said, I'm fairly heavily medicated to be functional, so I may be a little bit out of there. All right, so it looks like we're good on the YouTube side. Looks like we are good on Rumble side. Got chat up. All right, so we are going to clean up our tama from the last one to get ready to go with that. So I'm only doing one camera tonight because it's going to be a relatively static view. So for those that have seen me do this before, basically I'm cutting off the excess silk, but trying to leave the leaders alone so I don't have to tie new ones on. I was talking about finding a way that they wouldn't quite be so easy to unroll when they get close to the end and they're not having the silk providing the friction to keep them from unrolling, and it's just a kite string leader. But my guess is that with the headache, I'm probably only going to go for about an hour tonight. But since I'm actually moving now, I'm expecting to run a stream tomorrow night, at which point I will be able to start setting up the tama and setting up the configuration here. So, like I said, I am a bit scatterbrained. I do apologize for that. But, hey, I'm not crying in pain, so that's a bonus. Did have some good stuff going on at work today. I managed to successfully finish off a fairly large part that I programmed all myself and had to do a fair amount of work on that, but it turned out pretty well, which I'm pretty pleased. Considering the sheets of plastic that we were using were like 2-inch thick by 4 foot by 8 foot polypropylene, which, if I understand plastic prices right, are probably about something on the order of like $2,000 per sheet. So it was about $6,000 worth of material that I was able to successfully get looking pretty good, which is always a bonus. Let me catch up on chat real quick here. Hey, Phoenix Fire, formerly Summer Butterfly. Hope you enjoy the new name change. It's good to see you on here. The fire icon looks pretty good. Understood, Marmar, about being in a Zoom appointment. Hopefully you'll be able to catch what you can on here. So, I might. Well, the was I going to say? I'm not sure, but I might take a little bit of a quick timeout somewhere along the way here to go ahead and transfer over the pattern for the braid onto this computer here that I'm streaming from, so I can share what it looks like. So my goal is to get the setup done and started braiding by Christmas at the latest. And I'm probably going to spend a fair amount of my time off over Christmas and New Year's doing longer braiding sessions to get kind of a jump start back where I need to be. Because I do want to hand this one off in person at MarsCon. I've added links to Larry Correia's fan page. Well, not really fan page. I guess you'd say his PR page, which is monsterhunternation.com. And also a link to his podcast with Steve Diamond called The Writer Dojo. Which is I've mentioned here before, it's a really good source for people who are interested in looking at possibly writing for fun and or profit, and letting you know kind of how the business is of writing these days, and what kind of makes up good writing, what doesn't. So, and I'm sure once I get going a little bit more, I'll settle down and my brain will start functioning a bit better. But I'm making good progress here. Probably about every 10 parts, I'll get up and move them out of the way so I don't knock them on the floor repeatedly. So the colors for this upcoming braid are the same green I used on Jeff's braid, and black, which I have done on well, actually, the last time I did it was on the braid I didn't actually stream, though I did do some video of, which was the one with the Mongolian script on it. And let's see what else is going on here. This one almost looks like I just untied it, but I probably should just cut it. So, oh, I realized something here. You're not really seeing all that much of what I'm doing. Let me go ahead and adjust the camera a little bit so you guys can see better, because this is supposed to be fun for you folks as well. I enjoy doing this stuff, but then again, I tend to like repetitive things, or I wouldn't necessarily be braiding the way I do. Okay. All right. Well, I may not stream on Christmas and New Year's Day directly. I do plan on spending time with family. We have a Christmas Eve get-together that my wife's family does that I enjoy being a part of. So probably Christmas or evening and Christmas probably mid to halfway through the day. Probably not, but I might stream Christmas evening, and I mean, since I'm home and I've got the setup here, I will probably enjoy doing at least some of that time. Excuse me. My cough is pretty much, sorry, burping here. My coughing, whatever it was, is pretty much over at this point, which is nice. Still doing a little bit, especially when I first wake up or like that, but overall, I'd say it's 95% gone. Um, and when I mailed off the braid to Jeff, I'm using a US PO box address that gets forwarded to him in Correia. But when I use the kiosks for mailing packages, you have to put in the address where you're sending it to. And for most of the time when I do it, I'll enter the zip code, and then I'll like type in some of the street address or stuff like that. But this time, all it asked me for was the zip code and the name. So I'm assuming that it's a PO box only zip code, and they'll just go from the name there. So hopefully, I got enough information to get it to Jeff. Um, it is priority mail, so there's tracking. So I'm hopeful that'll be okay. And as I understand it, the PO box goes to somebody who essentially repackages it for bulk shipment over to Correia or something along those lines. So I'm hoping that works well. So after this braid is done, I'll probably just do a standard pattern braid on the Taka-Dai that I'll probably set aside so it can go on go for donation for the auction for the charity that Ian does, that he just recently finished up, because I'd like to have something nice that will be able to get a significant donation. So I was going to do it out of silk, probably 3, maybe 4 colors. That'll be fun setting that up. Be the first time I've done a non-custom braid with silk. From the current batch. So I did do a one that was kind of like a color changed laurel leaf, where it was actually the braid would actually look like separate laurel leaves without any backing on it. I did that like about 12, 14 years ago for a friend of mine's lauraling ceremony in the SCA. Yeah. I do apologize for my distractedness. The medicine I'm taking does help cut down the pain on the headache, but it also does not make me feel well in general. So I'm a little distracted by that. And I really appreciate everybody's patience on that. Let me check real quick here on chat here. Getting a birthday pizza day before my birthday, Christmas Eve. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. That pizza places are not open on. See, I'm not sure if I'm reading that correctly, that your birthday is 24th or the 25th. But whichever it is, I hope that nobody currently in your life tries to combine your birthday and Christmas presents. So I know that kind of sucks like horribly, and I apologize. Well, I sympathize with that. And it just, I do like a story that I heard where somebody had gotten a family member, whatever, that gave them a combination birthday. And actually, I think, no, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think that I heard that from Jeff, that somebody gave them a combined birthday and Christmas present. And so on their birthday, like 6 months later, they gave them a combined birthday and Christmas present then. And the message apparently was conveyed properly. Phoenix Fire. This braid is for a science fiction and fantasy author by the name of Clarie Correia. It's pronounced like the country of Korea, and it's spelled Correia. and he is an author that lives in Utah, and he has several series he's written. He started writing, I think, in about like 2008 or 2009, somewhere in that time frame. And he's written like, I think, close to 30 novels at this point. So he's a fairly regular, I mean, he's a steady producer. His first series was Monster Hunter International, which is essentially what it would be like if the kind of gun form people wound up in a horror movie. The basic concept is that all the movie monsters are real. Vampires, werewolves, Creature of the Black Lagoon, things like that. And private companies are hired to take care of those monsters when they attack humans. However, they can't tell anybody about it because there's a government agency called the Monster Control Bureau that tries to keep it secret, because if too many people are aware that creatures like Cthulhu exist, that will provide enough belief eventually that they'll be able to enter our reality, and they definitely don't want that to happen. So the people who run across monsters and survived are the ones that get recruited to become the people who take out the monsters when they try and attack people. They get contracts with different companies or different cities and municipalities for everybody that's kind of read in on the supernatural situation. And it follows the story of one of the older Monster Hunter companies called Monster Hunter International. Hold on a second here. Hey, Cookie Mon Steve, nice to see you on. Other than a really annoying migraine, I'm not doing too bad. Hey, Phil Martin, welcome. I'm probably only going to be on for about maybe an hour, a little bit more tonight. I'm prepping Tama, and then I'm planning on having another stream tomorrow night where I'll actually start setting up the Tama onto the Taka-Dai with the colors. Up the 25th then. Okay. Yeah. Merry birthday. Happy Christmas. Happy birthday. Okay. Well, that's good to know. So anyway, back to Larry Correia. His second, well, he had I'm not sure exactly where it fit in the timeline of when he produced books, but he has a trilogy called Dead Six, which is essentially kind of like mercenary type people dealing with conflicts around the world, where there's kind of some stuff going on in the background where maybe stuff is a little supernatural, maybe it isn't, but it's fairly well written, and it was co-authored with Mike Kôrai. Then there is Hard Magic, which is an entirely Larry Correia series, which let me move some of these Tom out of the way here. I'll be right back. In Hard Magic, it's kind of like an alternate history of the 1930s, where somewhere around the 1870s or 1860s, people suddenly started being able to do magic. It's like not everybody, but there's a small percentage, and they control specific forces. The main character is what's called a heavy, which means he has kind of control over gravity. There's others that are able to heal. Some people that control electricity, things like that. It's a trilogy. I enjoy it quite a lot too. If you sorry, I was just putting down some of the Tama. If you get a chance to get the Audible version of Hard Magic. It is narrated by Bronson Pinchot of, and I'm forgetting the name of the series, but he played Balky. Yeah, I don't remember the series name, but he is an excellent voice actor. He does a really good job with it. And another one of his series that's actually starting to get close to completion is an epic fantasy called Son of the Black Sword, which I won't get too much into because it's still in progress, and I don't want to reveal too much of it if you decide to read it. But it's essentially set in a world where kind of like feels like Indian caste structure type thing. You can't tell if it's like past, future, alternate world or something like that. But there is no religion. Religion is illegal. The law is the kind of what people worship, civil service, law, government. And humans are on the land, and in the oceans live the demons. They fell from the sky sometime in the distant past, like close to 1,000 years ago, and they're absolutely horrible monsters. They were fought into the ocean, and they stay there, and they occasionally come out into the land, but not all that often. And humans don't go in the water if they can absolutely avoid it, because usually that's a death sentence. And water and sea related things are like swear words in that culture. The main character is Ashok Vidal. At least I'm pretty sure it's Vidal. Like I said, my memory's... Well, I haven't said it, but my memory doesn't seem to be too good tonight, which is probably a side effect of the migraine, and medicine's keeping me functional. But Ashok is a enforcer of the law, and has no sense of humor whatsoever, is extremely skilled fighter, and he wields an ancestor blade. At least I think that's what it's called. Anyway, they're magical blades that essentially have their own personality and decide who it is that wields them. And if they don't like you, you're not going to survive the experience, most likely. So it's kind of risky to get one, or try to get one. I think most of the time you have to actually fight the current owner. And it's an epic fantasy story. It's really good. It does not go the way you would expect it from the very beginning. It's kind of like very anti-tropish, but it's really well written, and I like it. So I pretty much like everything Larry does. So, all right, let me go ahead and catch up on chat real quick, since I've been rambling on and on about books. Let's see. Yeah, I was not happy about that. I'm glad to hear that you don't have one today. This one was actually like kind of about a 9 on my personal pain scale, which is why I made sure that I took enough medicine that I could come on to stream, because this is the first day working on Larry's braid. And like I have probably expressed well, I'm a very big fanboy of his, and I wanted... I did not want to post that I was going to be starting his braid and then do nothing and cancel tonight. So, like I said, I'm going to do at least an hour, maybe a bit more, depending on how well I do. The further it goes on, the less nauseous I'm going to be from my medicine, which will be helpful. Let's see. Okay, if I'm catching this right, it's definitely in the. He writes stuff that you might like. I think his first book in the Monster Hunter series, which is just plain Monster Hunter International, is available as an ebook for free on the Baen Free Library if you're interested. I will. I don't know if I'll edit the description on this one, but I will make a community if I can find where it is in the Baen Free Library. I will go ahead and link that, put that link as a community post tonight before I call tonight. Okay, I forgot you finished Vice's braid. We're starting a new one. I was wondering why the camera was on a box. I understand now. Okay, yeah, no worries on that. Yeah, I got to get the Tama prepped for the next set of or the next braid. Well, I'm glad that I at least did not mangle it up enough that it didn't sound interesting. So yeah, I will. I'll go ahead and make sure to do a community post with the link to that. I think if I did link in the description to this video to his personal writing page, and they may have a link to it there, but it's not always easy to track down. Also, like Larry is actually fairly active online, and I like his personality. He's a happy, friendly guy. He's willing to bend over backwards to help people, be a decent, get, point people how they can get started in writing and stuff like that. And he's active going to cons and stuff like that. But he also does not tolerate fools well. And he's, I guess you'd say he's fairly active politically and socially. So he tends to get some pushback on some of that stuff. And it's kind of fun to watch him. He's been doing it long enough that somebody stumbles across him and decides to have a go at him. He's actually able to, through experience and researching his subjects really well, be able to kind of predict how the people will argue with him in advance of what they do. It's kind of fun to watch. As far as being active politically and stuff like that, he recently published a book in defense of the Second Amendment, which I also got. It's a nonfiction book. It's really well written, and it's, if you're interested in firearms rights, preservation, stuff like that, it's worth it for the index alone. He goes over a lot of the different arguments for gun control and essentially dissects them with a 50 horsepower chainsaw. So. Hey, I understand. It was kind of my personal thing. Also, the last several days, I've been trying to get ready to stream again. And I just really was not making any progress that I would consider very effective. So I essentially said, okay, I'm going to stream regardless. I'm going to be working on the braid no matter how little it is. But once I get started, then I can get my brain to go, yeah, you need to keep working on this. I've been finding out last 6 months to a year or whatever that I am probably fairly attention deficit type. The more I research into it, the more it's like, wow, yeah, that's the way my brain works. And one of the things that has been getting very frustrating for me lately, especially since I realize now kind of the reasons behind it, is there are things that I like to do, that I want to do, that I enjoy doing, that I have the skill set for, and there's absolutely no reason I couldn't do it, and I just can't force myself to start. Um, I actually had a conversation with my wife about this about a couple weeks back, um, and I was trying to explain why it was I wasn't doing some of the things that I should be doing, like making Taka-Dais. Um, and she was equating it to, she's a custodian, and it's like she doesn't like having to do certain types of things, but and it's like when she has to do it, it's like just absolutely do not want to do. It's just a pain in the butt type thing, but they need to be done. And I think it was finally able to explain that um, in my case, it's not that it's something that I dread or that is a pain to do or hard to do or whatever. It's stuff that's not hard that I like doing, that I should be doing, that I want to do, and I just can't freaking force myself to do it or to get started. And if I can actually like kind of get myself to actually get started, I can go along with it. Which is another reason why I'm not like letting myself spend any amount of time, major amount of time not braiding, because I'm afraid that if I don't do this regularly, I'll get to a point where I won't be doing it for like years. And uh, I mean, because I have actually had like a while where I had like a braid sitting on the Takadai for like 2 or 3 years and hadn't actually gotten anything on it, and I couldn't get myself to sit down and do the braiding. And I'm trying to come up with ways that I can keep things like that where it builds up some sort of mental inertia and I can't start it from happening, which is one of the reasons why I'm really trying to get tested for attention deficit as soon as I can, so that if there's a way, an effective treatment or therapy that I can do that allows me to, not get caught in this not doing things loop, that I can do that, because there's a lot of stuff I want to do. I mean, I want to be doing more stuff with the router, CNC router. I've got projects that I've got lined up in my mind that I want to do, and I haven't turned the thing on in like 6 months or 4 months. I mean, some of the stuff is like really easy to do. I can just like grab the design I want, plop it into my CAM software, get the program running, just tape it up and start it, and it should be going. But no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean for this to become a therapy session, but that's, I just kind of wandered into it. I apologize for that. But anyway, the reason I was talking about it is that I wanted to express that I was like really happy that I was able to kind of explain to my wife that it's not an avoidance because I don't like it. It's that I do like it and I can't get myself to start. And that's one of the reasons why I've been, pushing so hard trying to get testing done and get things taken care of along that way. So thank you for listening to me on that. Yes, absolutely, you can. You can find most of them on Amazon in paperback. And I think you can find a good chunk of them in brick and mortar bookstores. Hey, JLRees, 313, nice to see you on. Welcome, welcome. I figured it's not uncommon in the attention deficits, neurodivergent type community. And I just kind of recently, like in the last couple of years, realized that, yeah, I'm probably in that community. And looking back over my life, I can see a lot of signs where it's like, wow, I really would have liked to have been able to address this when I was like in grade school. My schoolwork was very random. I was doing high-level physics classes without the requisite math background that I should have had for them, and having, working pretty well with it. And there were other classes that I just really couldn't actually force myself to, do the assignments and homework. And of course, my grades suffered in that. So, and I got you're so intelligent. You really just need to apply yourself more. And it's like, as I'm finding out, Yeah, it doesn't quite work that way. At least the apply yourself isn't a good way of actually being able to get yourself to do the stuff you need to do. And for the stuff that I did like, that I was able to, kind of get on the monofocus stuff like that, I did really well on those. And I've also heard the description of with attention deficit when they say you're so smart. I don't understand why you're not doing the work. With attention deficit, intelligence can kind of mask the or was it? Now I'm forgetting exactly where the analogy was going, but it's kind of like I think I remember the analogy now. It's like with your brain being like a computer, if you have attention deficit, you really don't have much in the way of a hard drive for storing stuff, but you can kind of substitute for it if you put more active RAM or system memory as opposed to hard drive memory. And the computer and being smart is like having the extra system memory. So it kind of masks not having the hard drive, but it takes, there's only so much you can do with that. Excuse me. Cough is not quite fully gone. And I am sorry, I think I've got at least 20 more minutes with me, but I will probably end not too much after that, just so I can maybe lie down a bit more before I go to bed. Give me a second here. Time to move some more Tama over to the staging area. And I realize I am probably really random and scattershot today. So if you find it amusing, don't worry about it. I probably do too. But I done a pretty good job of able to kind of like ignore personal embarrassment. Because when I was younger, that used to be paralyzing at times. Give me a second here, folks. Oh. Sorry, time for a cough drop. I don't want to start coughing again, especially not with the headache. The other unfortunate thing is when my headaches get bad enough, I seem to gulp in a lot of air, so I tend to get burpy on that. But I also, these are the D-rings I usually use. I wasn't sure if I had enough on hand of the right size because I need to use larger ones for the 100 Tama braids. And this one is going to be a 100 Tama braid. I don't know if they'll arrive in time, but I also ordered the next size up. It does work with 100 tama, but it's a little snug. So I was thinking if I could get the larger ones, it might be nicer. But they're nice, welded construction, or so there's no like gap or anything to snag on the threads. These are about 1 3/8 inches, and the braid's been expanding out to about 1.5 inches, but it works reasonably well. This is the size I used on Jeff's. I also have like I think it's 1 1/4 or 1 inch ones that I use for the 84 tama ones. For the custom style braids like this, the normal small size for it, where the books teach you how to do it, start out 60 tama, and they go up 8 tama at a time. So it's 60, 68, 76, 84, 92, and 100 tama. You can keep going up from there. So actually, I'm starting to feel a little bit better. That's a good sign. If it keeps getting a lot better, I'll probably run a bit longer on this because I'd like to get as many of these trimmed off as I can, because that means I can probably just jump directly into warping them up at the start of the next stream. I'll probably, let's see. Yeah, I have a appointment in the morning Friday that's a little bit later than I would normally have to leave, so I can run a stream a bit later than normal on Thursday. So I'll probably start at 7:30 or 8 o'clock tomorrow as well. I'll have to think about it. And I should be able to get a fair amount done. It's been taking me about, I think, 5 to 6 hours to warp up a braid. So if I do Thursday night and a good chunk Saturday, I should be able to start braiding Saturday. And Sunday is Christmas Eve. Maybe do a morning one. Don't know on that. Depends on how I feel that time of day. And like I said, I probably won't do one in the evening, Christmas Eve, or the daytime, Christmas Day. Let's see. And but basically, I'll have a 4-day weekend for my work, because we've got the 25th and the 26th off. I don't know if I'll be working that following Friday or not, but I'll also be off until I think Wednesday of New Year's Day week. I have until like the 23rd of January to get this braid done. And with the setup, they tend to run about 60 hours, maybe a bit more. So I definitely need to spend a good chunk of time over the next week or two that I can braiding to get back on track for the schedule I wanted on this. He didn't give me, I didn't actually get a lot of commentary on what he would like. I presented the pattern and the told him that I'd like to do it for him, and I'd be happy to remove or add any additional elements that he would like. And he just said, "Wow, that's really cool." So I took that as a yes. He does want the braid. So I did ask if he wanted it between 2 and 6 feet long, or 2 and 8 feet long. And I haven't heard back, so I'm going to shoot for 6 feet. If somewhere along the way he decides he wants it less than that, it shouldn't be a problem. But I figure 6 feet, more than enough for display if he wants to set up as a display, or it can be used as a belt if he'd like. Larry is a very tall man. He's like somewhere around, I think, 6'2", 6'3", somewhere in that range. He's got a decent build on him too, so 6 feet would definitely be enough for a belt, but would not be enough for a double belt. So, all right. Speaking of which, weight in general, my wife and I have been talking about whether or not I should try the new weight loss drugs to help get my weight down. So that's one of the things I'll be talking to my doctor about in the not too distant future on my next appointment. So give me a second here and I will catch up and chat. I realize I have been not that great at keeping up on that, and I apologize for that. I'm definitely starting to feel better. Let's see. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I hate it when I forget things like that. It sucks. I apologize, or I sympathize with you on that. Hopefully they will get it done, fixed pretty good. Let's see. And hey, Don, nice to see you on. Welcome to the stream. Just as a heads up, I have a migraine going on right now. And to make sure I didn't miss the start of Larry Correia's braid, because I got it posted on his main fan Facebook page. I was definitely not going to go, whoops, I just posted this for a start of a new thing, and I'm not following through on that. I didn't want to do that. So I went ahead and medicated myself enough to do that. And I'm a little bit out of it. I'm definitely in rambly mode. So if you want to get my honest view on something, now is probably a good time to ask. So, but yeah, my head is actually starting to let up a bit, and I'm starting to feel a little more coherent. And the nausea that accompanies this migraine seems to be finally backing off. That one I may have used a bit too much super glue on it. But there we go. Yep, that's good. Oh, in case those weren't, for those who weren't in chat early enough, Phoenix Fire is one of our regulars. It's the new handle for Summer Butterfly. I really like Phoenixes, so I think it's a good choice. As a matter of fact, the embroidered shirt that I recently got that I really like has an embroidered phoenix on the back. Actually, we might be able to get a good camera view of that. Let me see if I can grab it real quick. Let's see. Yep, I had it right here. Okay. This is like a $40 shirt, so it's not horribly expensive. Fabric is good. So let's see. There is the embroidery on the front side. Let's see. Don't want to get too bad on the focus. And This is the embroidery on the back side. Let's get this good enough you can actually see the whole thing. But it's absolutely lovely, and I know it's just machine embroidery, but it's really nice. I like it. We got a couple more things from them. I got a jacket that I like as well. Unfortunately, I'm about 5 to 10 pounds too heavy to wear it comfortably, so I am definitely motivated to be losing weight because I hate buying something and then not being able to use it. We're definitely making good progress on prepping these tama. I might go ahead and when I get home tomorrow from work, I might go ahead and do a few of these off screen because, well, it's necessary to do it. I don't necessarily really consider it part of the setup, but and I realize it's some of the less interesting portions of setting up the Taka-Dai. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I did post something about it on Twitter or Twixt or whatever for about a month or so, maybe a month and a half. Most of the time I was working on Jeff's braid. I seem to be stuck between 1279 and 1285, 85 for subscriber count. And it was just like go up and down like one or two at a time. It was getting kind of frustrating after the big push that Rob and Ian did to help me get up to above 1,000. But like as soon as I got Jeff's braid done, it just suddenly started bumping up. And as of start of this, excuse me, start of the stream tonight, I was at 1312. So hopefully that'll keep going. And though I do know that I still have a lot of people that have been watching Maya case, taking care of Maya case related stuff that's been going on, which is entirely understandable. That's a very fascinating and kind of disturbing case. I think actually probably the most disturbing thing from the Johns Hopkins depositions or stuff like that I saw related to the case was a senior hospital administrator who, when they were asking, why they thought it would be acceptable to do stuff when the parents and the child patient did not want it to be done, basically said they consented to treatment. And the kind of the concept behind it that kind of floored me is they seem to think that once consent for treatment has been given, you can't revoke it, which is not the way it's supposed to be. So you should be able to revoke it. Also, for those that have been following that, apparently the judge is going to allow the defense, I don't know if directly or indirectly, to question juror number 1, which I think is highly disturbing. Also, Megan Fox has been going over the fact that apparently it looks like Johns Hopkins may be trying to go full reefer madness in regards to ketamine and ketamine therapies, so that when the appeals wind up going through the court, they can have a much stronger public opinion. I don't know, much stronger, but try and drum up a strong public opinion that ketamine is a risky and dangerous street drug that should not be used in medical treatment so that they can avoid paying the $261 million that was, in my opinion, more than rightfully levied against them for what they did. Yeah, I have fairly strong opinions on that case, and as I am not a lawyer or in that business, I have no problems expressing. I don't have any, excuse me, I don't have any children, but still the mentality that the hospital there seems to have was just really, really disturbing. My roommate that I've talked about has had medical problems in the past, and I actually couldn't really, I did talk to her a bit about it, but mostly in generalities because she's personally had experiences that she just isn't really able to. This is weird. Did I cook? She just isn't able to deal with and talk about it all that much just because it's for the things that have happened in her life that she just finds it really disturbing to deal with. Okay, that's what happened there. That came loose. All right, so let me... There we go. Let's just retie this one. Well, I'm definitely starting to feel better. Head and nausea related are much less, but I seem to be coughing more, which is annoying. In that, but I'll take the coughing over a migraine any day of the week. And in the realm of other things that have been disturbing me lately, I am really disturbed at the decision from the Colorado Supreme Court in regards to Trump being on the ballot. Regardless of whether you're for or against Trump, the way the courts and political entities and states have been dealing with this is just really, really disturbing to me. I am not comfortable with the way some of that stuff has been going. But also realize that I'm a very strong how do I want to express this? It's been told to me that I am very engineer type in my view of rules and laws, in that if you say you do something a specific way, you should do it that way. If you don't do it that way, change the rules to reflect the way you actually are going to be doing it. But don't say the rules should work this way and then do something different, which seems to be a lot of what's happening now. As in, it's not really based in law or jurisprudence, it's based in realpolitik. So, anyway, enough of that rant. I apologize if I'm offending anybody. I don't really go too much into politics on this stream, but given my... I don't think I'm going to get that knot out, so I'm not going to worry about it. But given the overlap I've had with people who watch my channel and channels I like to watch, I don't think it's entirely out of the realm of people willing to listen to what I say on that regard, even if it's not the focus of this channel. Let's see. Part of what brought up that to mind was I was listening to some of Kurt's coverage of the Colorado court decision, and I know Nick Reicade is going to go over it tonight. I'm going to catch that in the morning. I'm not going to bother catching it live because I got to wake up at or my alarm is set for like 3:45 a.m. my time zone normally. I usually get up and rolling about 4:30 though. and I have to be out the door about 5:15 at the latest to get to work on time. I do apologize for the coughing. Give me a second here, and I will try and catch up on chat, because I realize I have not looked at it recently, and I really should. And I'll catch up with chat, move those over to the staging area. All right, there we go. And I'm assuming those are in regards to the embroidery. Yep, it is really a nice shirt. All right, let me see, catch up real quick here. Yeah, I was ready to be here when you started. New info came out. Yeah, I caught just a little bit of recovery addict before I came up. It's part of the reason I was running a little bit late, so I apologize for that. Yep, I'm very happy that the algorithm is no longer suppressing me. Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff that they do to like try and keep participation in the court system, like the fact that they very, very, very rarely tend to prosecute for perjury because they want people to testify in cases. I mean, they'll do that, but then they're letting the juror get interviewed over this. Yeah, I'll agree with you on that too, Don. I am sorry. I was doing really good. Maybe it's the cough drop. All right, give me a second. I gotta move these over to the staging area. Because if I don't, I keep bumping this, they're gonna all fall to the floor and make a lot of noise. And while I'm doing this, I'll do a quick count check on how many I've gotten ready. I can't actually fit all 100 of them in the staging area at one time. But I can get a decent amount over there. I'm almost halfway. I got 46 ready. Oh, I know I've talked about my folks on this channel before. My dad is definitely doing a lot better. He had just to recap, he had an instance where he passed out at Home Depot, and they took him to the hospital. Figured he had a very minor brain bleed, and while they were monitoring for that, they found out that 3 of the 4 electrical circuits in his heart weren't working. So they gave him an emergency pacemaker, and then due to reaction to the anti-nausea medicine, he was having some mental issues. also related to the concussion and whatnot. But they were able to get those tracked down. He was able to get treated. He did have some issues. He's mostly over them at this point, so he's doing a lot better. About 5-6 years back, my mom had a recovery from a surgery that had issues where she stopped breathing for a fair amount of time. I don't know if it was like 4 to 6 minutes, but she had some issues from that wound up giving her essentially a muscle spasm disorder where she has jerkiness and spasms in her muscles. Not exactly like Parkinson's. It's a really rare one, but she's still her, which is nice, but she has mobility issues now. Anyway, they were able to have a company at no charge to my folks remodel their house to where it got converted from a standard like ranch style house to a setup to where she can actually get around in her it's not really a wheelchair, it's like a motorized scooter chair, because I mean, she can get up and walk, but if she doesn't have somebody to support her or whatnot, if she has a spasm, she can fall. So as long as she's able to like hold on to something, that if she has a spasm, she's able to move around. But she was having a lot of issues with her house, or their house. It was one I grew up in, where she couldn't do a lot of the stuff she used to do, and it was very difficult for her to get around in certain areas. But they went ahead and did some remodeling to the point where it's a much more open thing. She can get her chair, scooter thing, pretty much wherever she needs to. And the bathroom was redesigned, so it's much less hazardous. So they just got that done. So my folks are really happy with how that's turned out. And I'm not sure the exact connection with what I was going to be talking related to that, just that I'm really happy that things are improving for them. This is the same mother who about when she was in her early 70s, she's in her early to mid 80s now. She accidentally butt dialed us when she was re-roofing the house with my dad. So yeah, she was definitely very active. So it's kind of frustrating she's not able to be as active as she used to, but it's nice that things are improving to where she can be more like what she wanted to be. So excuse me. It's probably a combination of the menthol from the cough drop I was having and talking a lot more than I have been for a while. I haven't really talked much in general the last week or two since the last stream. Talk a little bit at work as needed, but definitely need to work back up to it again so that I can do the next series of streams here. So after this braid, I did say I was going to do a regular pattern braid, and then after that, I am doing a custom braid for Uncivil Law Kurt, and then I'm doing one for Aussie Overlord Hayden. Now, I haven't officially nailed down the schedule for anybody after that, though I might see, since I did get a response from a little bit of a response from Chrissy Mayer when she was on the F Friday stream 2 months ago. I might see if I can make arrangements with her. I am very sorry about the cough. On the plus side, my head is no longer exploding when I cough. So I think the worst of the migraine has passed, and I should be doing much better for the rest of the day. The only downside I'm worried about coming up is the fact that my migraines usually tend to be have the migraine, have it kind of fade for a while, and then kind of come back to about the original intensity for a little bit before fading out again. I call it the rebound phase. But anyway, but yeah, I'll see if I can get a hold of Chrissy and see if I can't get her in the schedule then. I also need to think about what I want to do for Robert Barnes, because I did tell him that I wanted to do a braid for him as well. There's somebody else that I told that I was wanting to do a braid for them as well, that it would be more a when rather than if. I'm trying to remember who that was. I'm pretty sure it was a lawyer who's YouTube adjacent, but can't remember who it was. I'll probably remember in the middle of the day tomorrow and go, ah, that's who that was. So, and then also coming up at the end of the year is the fun part of having a personal business like this. I've got to go through and find / organize all the receipts for everything that I've done that's business related for taxes next year. Because I got the constable stuff, which is relatively easy because those are usually checks. That's for the income, sorry. I mean, there's stuff I buy to do as a constable. There's pretty much everything that's been specifically done for YouTube here. And stuff to be able to do the CNC stuff as well. Speaking of which, I do have a specific CNC router project that I want to do so that I can make the warping frames, see if people are interested in those. So I hope to have those that done where I can route those out. I got the materials, I've got the tools for it, I have the knowledge, I have the pattern for it. I just got to sit down and run the program and then set it up to where I can run it in the shop. Once I get it up and running, I might do that as a shop stream. Oh, and the base for the drill press is done. I just haven't actually got the drill press onto the base because that was about the time I started getting sick and finished up this braid. So I'll be getting that done probably in the next couple of days too. But yeah, I am glad that I will be over this cough or whatever it is fairly soon. Let me catch up real quick on chat again. Yes, my mom is very happy about that. So yeah, we're hoping to visit sometime in the late winter, early spring again. It's been almost a year since the last time we were out there. I think we were out there last February. So we might try that again. That reminds me, I know, unfortunately, I don't know, fortunately or unfortunately, my mom doesn't actually watch a lot of my streams. She has caught them occasionally, but she spends more of her time doing crocheting and talking to family. And I've got one of my sisters lives in the same city with them. Another sister did move about 6 hours away, but there's also grandkids, great grandkids that are relatively close, and other relatives. So she tends to interact with people in person rather than online. So anyway, since I know that she's not really going to be watching this, at least not at a time frame that's going to matter, the Christmas gift that my wife and I are going to be getting my folks, since my mother is kind of a somewhat obsessive cleaner. Not like, obsessive, but she really likes living in a clean house environment and make sure it happen. But since she's had mobility issues a while back, about the start of uh, excuse me. When COVID was getting going, and my wife and I got her like 90 days of in-house house cleaning. Not really maid service per se, but come through and like clean and organize in the areas that she has issues with. Actually got feedback from the place when we first hired them. We'll be using them again. That they were actually able to provide like an extra month's worth of service because they did not have to spend near the amount of time that they were expecting to based off of what they'd originally quoted us. So, I mean, it really is just kind of doing the stuff that my mom can't quite do, but essentially the stuff that would require her to like get out of the chair to do. So, well, I'm definitely over halfway on here. Let's see. Wow, it's almost 9:20. Definitely went longer than I expected. So I'll keep going for a while longer since I am doing much better, unless I really start coughing again. I'm definitely feeling more with it mentally. So thank you, folks, for accompanying me with my migraine recovery. I realize this isn't actually, I'm sorry for not having it all on camera, but I am getting there. I do have to say I really did like using the zip tie to connect to the D-ring. It's much better than using the carabiner setup I had before, if that thing hadn't actually started falling apart. It got me to at least switch over to the zip tie, which makes it a lot easier to connect to the leader on the take-up reel, and less distortion on the braid as it was wrapping around. And Jeff said he expects that the braid will get there probably mid-January, so hopefully we'll get to see what got there. So far for the braids I've done, the first one I did was for Nick Ricada. Second one was for Ian Runkle. Third one was for Rob, Law and Lumber. Fourth one was for Danny of Danny on Direct. Fifth one was for Legal Vices. So in about a year, I've done 5 of these braids. I'd say that's pretty good progress, and I'm definitely getting faster as I'm going along. So I'm happy about that. And I do have to admit that I'm an absolutely terrible person to get gifts for, because I do tend to, like, I need this, let me get this. Oh, one of the things I was thinking about mentioning that, looking back on it, I see as a definite attention deficit type thing from when I was growing up. Up until probably my early 20s, I would, under times of stress where I had to like talk over important things with my folks, basically, I gotten in trouble for something or along those lines, They would try and talk to me about it, and I literally would not be able to say anything in response to their questions, not because I didn't want to, but because um, I kept going over various different potential answers that I could give. And essentially, it was like, working a logic tree. I would like work my way down all the different potential variations of what different answers would be, whether or not it would be a good or a bad answer. And I couldn't force myself to actually start any of those conversations because I was afraid I would not express myself correctly, and it would be a horrible disaster. And it didn't really help much the way I was doing it. But yeah, let me catch up with chat here. And yeah, taxes are not fun, but got to deal with them. Well, I hope that somebody is able to do that for you in the not too distant future. But yeah, we're not local, so it's kind of the best way we can help, because whenever we do wind up being there, my wife and I help out as best we can. My wife tends to do more than I do because of her professional custodial experience. And it's kind of funny. Last time we were out, um, my folks wanted to draft us for some painting, and my wife was absolutely happy with it. But apparently, one of my sisters uh, felt that my parents were being a little um, dragooning and getting her. Basically, every time we come out, we do a large project with them. I mean, a couple of years prior, they have a large storage shed that's more vertically large than horizontally. It's like about a story and a half up, and it's almost all shelves on the way up. Um, we helped organize that. I don't remember which sister it was, but basically, kind of read my folks the riot act about how they need to not like dragoon my wife into doing work for them whenever we come out to visit. And my wife is like, actually, I'm happy to do it. I don't get to come out that often, and this is a way I can help when I come out that makes me feel better about helping out. And that's just the type of person she is. um, okay. Yep. Yarn is a good gift. My mom absolutely loves it when we get her yarn, and my roommate has usually a couple varieties of yarn on her gift list on Amazon. Yep. Um, yeah, I'm not. We're not close enough to do it in person, so it definitely makes it easier. Catch up on chat here real quick. That's rough. Prior to my current job, the last job I had for like the last year and a half before I switched jobs, I was working about 70-hour work weeks. Yeah, that's definitely rough. Yep, I had no problem with her helping, and uh, it was just kind of amusing to us. My wife is more than capable of saying no if she doesn't want to do something, and it was her way of like, she comes out, she gets to help, and um, I don't remember. I think my wife was actually part of that conversation. She's like, no, no, I want to help. So, all right, let me go ahead and move more of these over in the staging area. I think I'm about to the point where I don't have enough staging area left to add any more, but we'll see how it goes. Actually, yep, I think I'm at the limit of what I can have over on the staging area, aka the rail, down by the downstairs stairs. So I think what I will do is here we go. Oh, and before I forget, I did want to show the colors that we're going to be working with for this braid. So while I'm feeling better, I'm still somewhat scatterbrained today. All right, so yeah, this is definitely going to be a major chunk of my receipts for expenses this year. So that is the green. And come on. There we go. One of the things I was considering, in addition to the warping frame I've got, is they have winders, like hand cranked winders that you can use that might be useful to like combine with my warping frame to pre-do the stuff. So I've got it like the DMC floss. All right, there we go. That's the color palette we're going to be dealing with today. Actually, this is the same green as last time. This was the color that Jeff picked. It looks much brighter with the yellow. I do have another green that's more like emerald green, but I only have like one spool of that I used for Nikokita's braid. All right, so let me move these out of the way. So over here. But yeah, I will be setting up the warping stand for tomorrow. And I'm actually at the point where even if I don't get the rest of these prepped and ready to go, I will still have more than enough to get through tomorrow night's stream, no matter how fast I run. And then I can finish the rest of them off later. But I'm down to, I can pretty much see the bottom of the box now. And I was at least 3 layers in when I started. Oh, while I am thinking about it, before I get too close to the end, because I always seem to forget on that, let me go to set up for a redirect and customization. Yeah. All right, so it doesn't look like anybody's actually live. I'll check again when we get closer, but I don't think I'll be able to do a redirect. But I definitely got a lot more done tonight than I was expecting when I was about ready to start the stream about an hour and a half ago. Oops. Helps if I have StreamYard up so I can actually see. Oh, and I haven't checked Rumble in a while. I apologize, Rumbleites. Give me a second here, and I will check what's going on Rumble, see if anybody's chatting over there. I've been getting more chats there lately, so I should pay attention. Looks like I got one person watching on Rumble. All right, and there we go. No, I actually haven't shown the pattern at the beginning of the stream. Let's see. So let me go ahead and grab my laptop and email it to this computer so that I can then bring it up on screen. So give me just a minute. I need to. Thank you for reminding me. I got distracted on that. The laptop over here. I just need to email it to myself, and then I can download it. And then I can display it properly. I've been needing to transfer it over to the shouldn't take that long. I do have to say that as an old-time computer type person, as in my first personal computer was a Timex Sinclair 1000. I really, really like the advent of solid-state drives. They make booting up a computer so much faster than they used to be. All right. Got the email up already. Emailing myself. Attach files. And I think I had that in the download. Yep, there it is. And open and send. There we go. All right, so it's wending its way through the email. And I just need to open it up on this computer over here. And give me another couple minutes and I will be there. All right, so it's not that large a file. It should be there already. Don't tell me it's one of the file extensions that. Yes, send it without text in the body. Okay, there we go. Gmail's trying to tell me I shouldn't be sending myself email without text in the body. All right, there we go. And download that. And save. And let's go ahead and move this one up to here so I can do it as it's full screen. And almost there. And okay, there's the old one here. Let's go ahead and save that as Vice's final. Vice's final for archive. All right, and let's go ahead and open this one up. Go to downloads. There we go. Open that up. And always opens it up as the 2x2 twill, not the 1x1. And I'm just going to do a quick rough estimate for the colors. Let me go to settings and pattern color. That one's going to be black. And the background color is going to be all right, that's not exact, but it'll do for now. All right, go back to edit. The green's kind of off, but all right, let me go ahead and share this. Share screen. There we go. Okay, so I can switch over to horizontal so you can see it pretty much all at once. Well, mostly. So this, the smiley face here is the logo of the primary monster hunting team of Monster Hunter International. It was established in the series in 1895, and the old West pistol related to that. This was a logo. The 6 here was a logo from the Dead 6 series, and this is the Black Sword and Gruvidal in the series Son of the Black Sword. And when I was talking about the hard magic, the heavies are able to manipulate gravity. This is the symbol for heavy in the series, which is an anvil floating, which is why it's over a shadow. So that's the tentative pattern. I mean, that's the one I'm going to go with, unless Larry says he wants something different. So let me take that out of there, and we'll go over to play. And let's see roughly how many moves it is. All right, so doesn't look like I am very sorry about the coughing. All right, so it doesn't look like the moderately complex, not horrible. Doesn't seem to want to take some of the mouse clicks. Actually, let's just go ahead and use the arrow key on the keyboard, since it doesn't like the mouse clicks for some reason. Sword's off center just a... Okay, so it's only off by 1. All right. The problem with this pattern for symmetry is... All right, so let me just... Repeat was set too low. Let's go all the way to the end. All right, and... Yeah, I'll have some hot chocolate as soon as I'm done here. All right, and there's the anvil. And all right, so we are about 127. So that's about 10 inches for reset of the pattern. So 5 feet would be 6 iterations of the pattern. All right, so I want 6 to 7 iterations. All right, so let's see. All right, so that's probably a good spot for reset. So we'll set for 127. Okay, there we go. And then that resets back to the beginning. Okay. All right, that's all set up and ready to go. And let's go ahead and switch back to this. There we go. Let me catch up real quick here. All right. Yep, that's where I got to go doing that. Yeah, no, I did not show it. Oh, congratulations. You did actually get to see that in live time. Yes, Gmail is annoying at times. Congrats with the appointment being done. If you catch it on the replay crew, you can hear me like really kind of rambling until my migraine started lessening up. I'm definitely feeling a lot better than I was a couple hours ago. Thank you. I appreciate that. Larry also agrees with you, which is why I'm going with it. And yes, definitely doing some hot cocoa when I'm done here. And I have tried one of those, and I was not impressed. It may have been the fact that the one I got was substandard, but I prefer the cocoa or the hot chocolate mix. And I'll occasionally spike it with a little bit of caramel. It's I don't know if it's necessarily normally an ice cream topping, but it's the Hershey's caramel in the squeeze bottle, like their chocolate that you can use to make chocolate milk. A little shot of that with some Swiss Miss chocolate mix and some warm water. It's pretty tasty for me. When I was growing up, my folks made a hot chocolate home mix, which was essentially, if I remember right, a 28-ounce container of Nestle's Quick Mix. It was the type that you were supposed to add into milk, and it might have been just Hershey's cocoa powder. I'll have to ask sometime. But anyway, it was like essentially cocoa powder, or the type that's supposed to be mixed specifically with milk, and it doesn't work too well with water. I think it was a 1 pound box of powdered milk, and 1/8 of a bag of powdered sugar. And we would stir it all up and use like a 1/4 cup of that in a normal hot chocolate sized cup. And that made an absolutely fabulous mix for nice, creamy hot chocolate. And I did not mind the fact that it was powdered milk, even though growing up with powdered milk, I never really cared for powdered milk when we were having it. We definitely did not grow up wealthy, though it was very nice when I was in my early teens, when my folks were able to make an arrangement with some people in our church who had like 1 or 2 cows. And we would get 2 1-gallon glass jars. Actually, no, it would have been about a 2-gallon size glass jar. We'd get 2 of those a week, so it was like 4 gallons a week of raw milk from them. And we'd get it, we'd let it sit in the refrigerator for a day, and then we would skim off the cream that rose. And on the weekends, my mom would make us ice cream, usually chocolate ice cream, with our home ice cream maker. It was not a hand crank one, it was the one with the motor. It was definitely really nice homemade ice cream. It was nice and creamy. It was dense and not fluffy. I do not like fluffy ice cream. And I realize most of the fluffy ice creams are more like, frozen dairy product type things rather than actual ice cream. But yeah, I don't like the tendency for, it's like, let's make it really easy for you to scoop up, and when it melts, it tastes wrong. I like the straight dairy, mostly cream type ice creams. Haagen-Dazs is still kind of like that, but a lot of the others, I don't know if it's just less expensive for them to do it that way, but I don't like it that much. Of course, I really shouldn't be eating all that much ice cream these days anyway. One of the other fun things that us kids would do after the ice cream was made on Sundays, and they would take it, we had ice that would be around the ice cream maker, and we put rock salt on it so that it would work much better for making ice cream. And we'd challenge each other to how long we could put our hand in the ice and water bath that was there after the ice cream was made. And of course, usually it's something on the order of like 5 or 10 seconds before we take it out. I mean, it was entirely voluntary. Nobody made us do it. And nobody it was horrible and would hold it under. It was just, we put it in like, it's too cold, take it out. Excuse me. And but yeah, it was really nice having fresh milk, kind of straight from the cow. They don't really let you do that these days. Keep hearing about government agricultural agencies shutting down people selling raw milk. It's not safe for you. All right. Anyway, sorry, I don't mean to go all super nostalgic or anything like that. There we go. And anyway, when I was mentioning earlier about being successful on doing the project, where it worked out really well, I really like the fact that my work is allowing me to kind of start working without as much supervision with my programming. I'm able to actually kind of go beyond the initial training parameters that I got. Now, I know that's essentially why they hired me, so it's not unexpected that they would do it, but it's nice that they are doing it because I've been in other employment situations where it's like, yeah, you're supposed to do this, and like never happens. They never actually trust you to do the stuff you're supposed to be able to do. So, and I like the fact that I wound up catching a lot of stuff in the setup on this that the quoting person didn't catch everything on, and was able to get everything nailed down ahead of time rather than just kind of go with what I had and not question when things didn't look quite right. And came up with my own theory for how to machine it and got it done with less material than they were expecting to need. So, and I learned a bit more about the materials I'm working with as far as how they handle certain things. So I'm thinking that as time goes on, I'll be able to actually take more advantage of the quality of the equipment we've got to do things faster and more efficient and save more money, make the company more money, and hopefully they will reciprocate by compensating me as a result of that as well. And I have to say that they're definitely on that track. Got a very nice bonus at the end of the year. I mean, not like super bonus, but it was more than the previous year. And the company seems to have a fair amount of work lined up, so I'm hopeful that it'll continue on with that. Because it looks like it's going to be probably at least a few more years before I can switch over to doing YouTube full time, which would be nice if I could do that. As in, it would be nice if I'd be at a level that it would be able to support me, as opposed to I got to do YouTube because I don't have any other source of income. And I need more. Excuse me. I am so sorry about that. All right. So, community post for after the stream is going to be a link to the Bane Free Library for Monster Hunter International. And I think I will also include Amazon links for the paperback versions of like the first book in each of the series that Larry has done. For those that are interested in seeing if they like his writing style. Larry actually has a lot of other writers that are really good that like working with him as well. In one of the Monster Hunter anthologies, short story anthology collection that he came out with. I think it's Target Rich Environment. The first volume of that had Jim Butcher, and I don't remember if it was that one or if it was a different anthology. Great, I'm blanking on her name. She wrote the Anita Blake series. Laurel K. Hamilton. Both have put in short stories for anthologies that Larry, either in series he's done or anthologies that he's edited. So I know Jim Butcher. Okay, good. I was afraid I cut the lead on there. I know a lot of people, I think, who watch this channel also like Jim Butcher as an author. Because I think I've seen people talk about his Dresden Files series in chat before. And Laurel K. Hamilton is also very popular, just in general. So, and all right, I am still definitely feeling much better, but I'm also starting to run down on energy level, so it's probably about time to wrap this up. And I only have maybe about 20 to 25 Tama left to clean up. So I'm definitely, let's see, 4, 8, 16, 20 left to go. So yeah, I've got more than enough done that I can definitely jump directly in on warping up the Tama next stream tomorrow night. And hopefully I will be definitely feeling much better. And thank you, everybody, for keeping me company in the chat, because I don't know if I would have been able to keep up with this if you folks hadn't been so wonderful about that, even though I know I did get very much in the way of distracted ramblingness. So thank you for putting up with that as well. And let's see, is that one going to come loose? I think that's going to be okay. Worst case scenario, if it rolls off, I can retie it. But yeah, I'm shooting for potentially being able to start doing actual braiding on Saturday. All right. And let me catch up on chat here real quick. Let's see. I don't necessarily have a problem with the concept. It's just, like I said, the one I had just was not all that satisfying. And it may just have been strictly the fact that when my wife found them, that might have been a substandard brand. Ooh, peppermint hot chocolate is nice. My wife also likes adding cinnamon to hot chocolate when she makes it for me because she knows I love cinnamon. And I think I mentioned before that when I was growing up, as a treat for us kids, my folks would put like cinnamon sticks in, or toothpicks in a little vial of cinnamon oil, and we would get those as treats. Unfortunately, I have never actually liked the taste of coffee, so mocha has not been something I really like. Though I can have it without. I mean, it's not like I won't eat it or drink it, but it's not in my like it type flavors. But yeah. Hey, dog named Mocha is probably a very, very good boy or good girl. A friend of ours has said that my wife and I both have I'm sorry Tourette's because we say it a lot. Yeah. Thank you very much, Gwen. That's very nice. The I'm used to calling it a lark's head knot. I would have to look and see if it's actually a half hitch, but it wouldn't be surprised if it is. No, usually what I'll do is when I'm ready to tie it off, I make sure that there's no, it's not, the knot is on, lark's head or half hitch is not on there. I tie it off, and then when I roll it up to hang off the sides or hang off the rails, that's when I put the lark's head in. Thank you very much, Marmar. I appreciate that. Hey, Kathleen. Sorry that you're getting here right as I'm about ready to call it a night, but it's good to see you on. Okay, that's understandable. Yep, I'm sorry, Tourette's. I love that term too. Do a quick check over on Rumble. And looks like we've got 2 people watching over on Rumble. No actual chats over there. So let's see. Let me just jump to live, make sure there wasn't anything I missed. So it looks like we're doing okay over there. Looks like we peaked out at 7 people watching total. And let's see. I think that's everything there. Let me do a quick check, see if I can hit the custom, see if I can do a redirect real quick. I doubt it, but just do a quick check. I still haven't made the little sign to hang off my monitor to remind me to do that before the end of each stream. All right. And nope. All I've got as options are Nicholas Staro's 1-year anniversary and Jingle All the Laughs from Aussie Overlord. Actually, let me go ahead and just set it up for Nick. I haven't done a forward to him for a while. All right, so I have no idea when it's actually. Yeah, it's scheduled for December 29th. So anyway, if you guys haven't checked him out yet, his channel's definitely interesting. All right, so, and I will do a community post with the links that I said I was going to do. I'm glad you're on here. I will be doing another stream tomorrow night, probably starting around 7:30 or 8, and running for about 2 hours or so. I'm going to be getting the actual Tama wound up and put on the Takadai. So I'll have 2 cameras set up then. And I'm definitely feeling much, much, much better than I was when I started the stream. My head pretty much feels about normal now. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I want to thank everybody. And as always to everybody, stay safe and happy braiding. Yes, I was going to be linking to a free copy of Monster Hunter International. It's at the Baen Free Library, so it's directly from the publisher. It's kind of like we'll give you a taste and you'll be hooked. And I'm also going to link to some, I think probably Amazon links for paperbacks, since somebody was looking, I believe it was Phoenix, who used to be Summer Butterfly, was interested in paperbacks of some of Larry Correia's books. So, whoops. I think I've still got audio. It looks like it says I do. I apologize for that. Can anybody else hear me? Okay. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and end it now. Back again to, as always, stay safe and happy braiding. See you guys tomorrow. Yes, you can. Getting the books from Baen directly.